So what happens is you are looking inside and you're going, I have thoughts, but I am not my thoughts. You know this exercise. I have desires, I am not my desires. I have needs, I am not my needs. I am aware of images, I am not those images. So what am I? What's left? Am I the damaged child that I find when I look inside? No, that's an object. I mean, it's nice it's there, but that's not what you are. And so as you push back and back, nete, 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 to this transcendental self, it has different tones and qualities than your empirical self, the self that you can see, the self that you're identified with, and frankly, the self you're defending. We all defend that empirical self. It's a case of colossal mistaken identity. And as Patanjali said, ignorance is the identification of the seer with the instruments of seeing.
A good practice for the video game to recognize the I amness and the true self that pervades everything, to give more perspectives on it, would be to go into the Game Master complex and see the Akashic records on as videos playing out on the monitor screens. Then the players could go into those screens to any point in their lives and tell themselves that they are from their future, and they give themselves support and the most important advice that they think they need, and that would show them the continuity of their lives and how they've grown and what they needed to know back then and what they know now. So it gives them multiple perspectives.
I-amness. And you have a sense of I-amness right now. The thing to notice about that is it's the only thing in your awareness that's always constant. So if you try to remember what was actually in your awareness 10 hours ago, you can probably recreate and say, okay, I was there, I saw that, sort of that. But one thing is present now that was present 10 hours ago, and that was a feeling of I-amness. Whatever you were doing back then, there was still a sense of I-amness. You could still have recognized that. 5 years ago, no matter what was happening, there is still this sense of I-amness. And not because it's an eternal, unchanging self, but because it's vast emptiness and openness, doesn't enter the stream of time, and therefore is always ever present. And again, it's a radical shift, because we're not talking about just sort of, I'm aware of I-amness now. Anybody who's aware of existing in this room, you're fine, you've got it. You can't get I-amness wrong. It's just very straightforward. That I-amness is, you can keep pushing it back. It's the same I-amness you had 10 years ago. It's the same I-amness you had 100 years ago.
Also have that scene doing that practice in a movie with the actors playing both parts in a split screen, so that she could experience it from each side, first from the younger and then from the older, and then from watching it on outside, so that it gives them the first, the second, and the third person perspectives, to give her a more of a sense of how it all fits together and what the actual meaning of what she would say to her younger self. That'd be important that she evolves through stages in her lives.